Greetings everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another Swiss Army Sunday. I'm Marvin Four, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the most iconic Swiss Army knives ever produced, and that is the classic SD. Now, if you've never owned one of these little monsters, you've been living under a rock or something, because I've owned dozens of them. But if you're looking for something to spice up your EDC and just make it a little more handy by its size, this is the SD. And you should stick with us. We'll tell you all about it.
This video is intended for all ages.
Okay, so as I said, today we are reviewing the classic SD, which is the most iconic, one of the most iconic knives produced by Victorinox. They've been producing this knife for 84 years, and it is amazing. The amount of variants that this knife has is, I don't even know. I mean, there are so many different styles for this scale. Company logos, custom football, custom designs, ALOX editions, company names, you name it. I've received dozens of these from companies I work for. I've received them as gifts from companies I deal with, and it's just an amazing knife that comes in very, very handy. It is known as a keychain tool, and it is just a very simple, very well designed multi-tool that is ideal to have on your person at all times. Keeping it in your pocket on your keychain is wonderful. The cost is going to run you anything from $15 to a groundbreaking $290. I'll show you a picture of this guy. $290, you get this one. This one has a gram of pure gold inlaid into the handle. Just wow. Don't know why you would do that, but it does. The specs on this knife are the weight is 0.8 ounces, which is 21 grams. The length is 2.3 inches or 58 millimeters. The width is 0.4 or just under 10 millimeters. The blade steel is, I'll put it across here because it's really hard to remember. I'm going to read it. DIN X55 chromoly 14 stainless steel. Just wow. The handle is an ABS cellidor scale, even though this one is in deep blue translucent. Very nice. The pros and cons of this knife are very easy. The pros, it's very affordable, it's lightweight, it's discreet, it's easy to sharpen, and it takes an amazing edge. Being rust-proof and basically maintenance-free, the knife will last you years. The cons is it's being as a light duty task knife, it doesn't hold up to real aggressive abuse on a daily basis. It will not hold up. It'll develop a lot of wobble in the blade, and the blade will break. I've broken them. The blades do not lock, even though there is a lot of retention on this to keep it back, and it works really, really well for that. And my biggest negative is the fact that the key ring is on basically the wrong corner in my eyes. It should be down here because it makes it where if you're hooked to a key ring, you've got the key ring up here where you're trying to use a sharp blade, and that's not practical. The knife itself only has so many tools. It has a pair of tweezers. It has the famous toothpick. It has a pair of scissors, has a very nice blade, and then it has the SD file. The SD standing for screwdriver. We'll talk about each and every one of these things here in a moment, and we'll just get started. So first off, we'll talk about the blade. The blade itself is 1.5 inches long, and it is very nice and very useful for light duty tasks. Opening packages, I've used mine to cut fruit, and I've used it to sharpen pencils, things like that, because I'm a big note taker. But it's wonderful. The blade being corrosion resistant really does come in handy. The aggressive drop point blade, which is what this guy is. The reason why this drop point is, it makes it that much easier for you to slide it into something and cut the package or cut an envelope or things like that without damaging the inside content. It's got a very nice backside, and it comes in very, very handy. I like it. The dull side is not the best when it comes to using it for like a ferro rod. It's not aggressive like that, but you can easily run a file across here and build that edge if you wanted to create it, make it that much easier to use in an emergency. The scissors are our next thing we're going to talk about. The scissors are very, very handy. Great for cutting random threads, or and not trying to pull them through and ruining a shirt or a sweater or tearing up something. They're great for tags, and just for cutting. I've used mine more for anything is cutting a line, like braided fishing line. It works really, really well for that, and it just comes in very, very handy. The blades on this are very sharp, and I've actually used them to just kind of stab and break package tape, things like that. It just comes in very, very handy. They are tiny, but they do come in very, very handy when it comes to what they're useful for. And that's the whole point. The file comes in very, very handy, and I think it comes in more handy for me than anything. I love the blade, but I love the SD screwdriver. The file on the front comes in really, really handy when you're I've used it more for my nails as a nail file, just cleaning myself up. I work on cars, so I have to get, as you see, my nails are nasty today. I work on cars every day, so my stuff gets dirty. But it comes in really, really handy for that. The SD screwdriver is very, very common and just comes in really handy when you need it. The SD is an 1/8 of an inch or 2.5 millimeters wide. I've used it to take off license plates for customers with their cars. And the only thing I will say is don't over torque. If you're trying to really, really torque something down, you're going to break it or you're going to strip it out, and it's just not going to last. That's just the way this knife is. It's just not designed for that. I've used it for popping open and more Christmas mornings, opening electronics, toys, things like that, using this to open get those little pesky screws out to put batteries in the battery compartment. Comes in very, very handy for that and has been a lifesaver. The tweezers are very basic. They're nothing outlandish, but they're very handy. If you ever have a splinter and you have this on your knife, you are going to be so happy with yourself, like the toothpick. When you need it and you have it, you're happy. The tweezers work very, very well. They're not anything like medical, but they're handy. They come in very, very handy. The toothpick, I have used this more to not just get popcorn, stuff like that out of my teeth when I'm at the movies, but I've used it to clean electronics around my phone, keyboards for my computer, things for my dash for my car, things like that. It comes in really, really handy. And then, yes, make sure you clean it really well before you put it back in your mouth. So the SD is amazing. I mean, you understand why so many people carry this thing. The SD is a classic, and it's an amazing tool. I really enjoy carrying one of these. There's not that much more to talk about. The knife itself comes in very handy and is worth its weight in gold. Very nice, especially if you get the one with the gold. But hope you guys enjoyed this knife. If you have any questions about the SD, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you have one, or tell me about if you have one that's anything different. I want to know of the scales, the custom scales. I've had ones that were given at baseball games. I've had them from a lot of different things, but love it. Think it's an amazing tool. Hopefully you'll look forward to having one. We will be doing a giveaway as we prepare to launch out we're going to be doing a survey, not just a survey, but we're going to be comparing different Swiss Army knives to each other in a comparison to see which is the best Swiss Army knife. So hope you'll stick around. Hopefully you'll be part of it. If you would, comment down below. Tell me what is your personal favorite Swiss Army knife. I'd love to hear from you. And it might actually be on our list. We'll see. God bless each and every one of you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We pray for each and every one of you, for your family and everything you might be going through. And we just thank you. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to get in touch with us, shoot us an email down below, or you can reach out to us through Facebook and Instagram, and we'd love to get to know you better. Hope you have a wonderful day, guys. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you later.